But good morning, I should say good afternoon, everyone. Hey, I've got more updates on OVERHOOF. If you haven't watched some of my latest videos, I've almost completed the exterior of the car, but I need more parts. So what am I doing now? Today, I've actually located another part that I need, and I'm supposed to go meet up with someone to make a trade for it. Now, I will say the majority of this build I've been able to make happen due to bartering and trading. And one of the items I need for this, well, it's the wiper cowl that goes here. After sitting in the field for 10 years, this was completely destroyed, gone, and in pieces. Now, I don't actively look for specific items. I just browse. And if I see that someone has something, I reach out to them. And I offer to make deals, trade, or get it at a discounted price. And sometimes people say yes. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna go trade for a wiper cowl, and it's supposed to be brand new. I will say that from this angle, the front of the car looks really good. But I absolutely love going on parts runs. I love going on scavenger hunts. I love going to look for parts for cars. I'm kind of excited. I'm having trouble talking. So a wiper cowl isn't that high on the priority list, but it is something, and I did come across it. So I'm pretty excited to go get it. This is one of the two. They have two different ones. They make a one piece and they make a two piece. This one is a two piece, which I like better because if you have to work on a part of it, you can just remove one side of it without having to remove the whole thing. And if you've ever had to remove a wiper cowl on a Mustang, sometimes they don't come off very easy and you break them. I once had a pretty cool modded 98 blacked out GT 5-speed manual, and I was caught in a hailstorm and it destroyed the front windshield. I mean, I couldn't even see out of the front windshield. The hail destroyed it so bad. So next couple of days, I scheduled a window repair guy to come out, and I said, hey, look, I'll leave you a decent tip if you don't break that cowl. And luckily, he didn't break it. He got it off, put it back on there in one piece, and I left him a $20 tip just for doing that on top of what he charged me, so I was happy. So we just got back home with our two-piece cowl. We're going to check it out. Now, I do have some questions about the wiper motor because, like I said, this car sat open in the field for 10 years. And well, I'm almost 99.9% sure that this motor is not any good. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I think this has all been damaged. It's got some Bondo in it, but the door opens pretty good. Hopefully my hood latch still works. Okay, this piece is still here. It's still in fairly decent shape, but yeah. I may take some, I have some treatment for this, and this here's kind of coming off, not a big deal. I like that it still has the sprayer nozzles in there. That's pretty handy. This thing's not in good a shape as what I thought it was, but like I said, I traded for it, so I really don't care. Well, I'm a little embarrassed to say the least. I thought I knew quite a bit about Mustangs, and I still think I know quite a bit, but I don't know near enough. But apparently, the wiper cowl that I got for this came off of a 99 to 04 Mustang, and it does not fit the 94 to 97 Mustangs because of this. Yeah, so it looks like it would line up perfectly otherwise, except for the shape of this cover piece here, which is different. Because of that, it won't fit on there. I could trim it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm kind of mad at myself, but not really. I mean, I did trade for it. So I don't know if I could just pop it up online and maybe try to get some money for it and get me a replacement for it. I mean, if I wait a few more days, I can just order one for it. But that was the whole purpose of trading for it, so I didn't have to buy one. Okay, well, I don't have some things that I need, but I came up with a way to try something, and, well, I'm going to document in case it works. I don't know if it works, but I'm going to try it. So I'm documenting it beforehand, and we're going to see. So I've got my main caps to my LS, which I'm trying to assemble. I don't have a parts washer. I don't have parts cleaner. I can't afford that stuff. So it said to just take some hot soapy water and boil it, and to dip your parts in it for about 20 minutes. And that's what we're doing. So I've started with the first one, and I've got 4 more to go. So I'm only doing one at a time, so that means it's going to take a lot of time because there's 5 of them at 20 minutes each. So you do the math, but I'll let you know if it works. Well, after 20 minutes, the first one's out, and I must say, it's not perfect, but you can tell it drastically looks better than it did. I'm not going to touch it because it's still hot. I've got number 2 in the boiling water, but it still has a few spots of grime on it, but the places that I need cleaned, it pretty much cleaned them up. So we're going to roll with this, and whatever's left, I'll deal with it when I assemble the motor. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock, and I'm down to the last one finally. Now, if you're going to do this like me and you're going to do it at home, you don't have the means to do this. Once you take these out of here, they're going to dry immediately because they're in basically boiling hot water. So they get what's called flash rust. It turns kind of orange color. So you either want to get a little bit of oil, wipe it with oil, or spray with WD-40 so they don't rust. Now I've just got an old pan that my wife's not using. I put some oil in it, and I've doused them with oil so they don't rust. And then hopefully here next week sometime, I'll start putting this engine together. So we've got them all done. We're just going to pour some oil over them. And now that it's done, I've got some auto part soup here. If anybody would like some, I might bottle this up and sell it. Happy 4th of July, guys. Today is July 4th, and we've actually got some pretty exciting things going on. Last night, I worked on doing my own little makeshift hot tanking my engine parts so I could start installing my LS, but today on the 4th, I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy the day. There's a lot of events going on today, and they're actually having some lawnmower races. Now, before you laugh, it's not, you know, your typical lawnmowers. These lawnmowers are actually probably not really lawnmowers anymore. They've been modded, and these guys take this pretty seriously. Some of these lawnmowers have motorcycle engines and transmissions on them. So yes, they will haul some tires, I'm telling you. So it started a little bit ago. I'm gonna go down and check it out. I've never been to one of these lawnmower races where the lawnmowers are no longer lawnmowers because they do about 10 times faster than your typical lawnmower. Well, I've been filming this video for a few days. It's probably a good thing because I couldn't get it all in one day. I've still been working on OVERHOOF little by little, getting it put back together. I finally put the mirrors on it. I got one mirror painted and another one just on there. They're a little different. I don't know if I'm gonna run it or not, but I'm actually going up to meet with the guy that I met with a week or so ago and picked up some parts for OVERHOOF. And he's got some parts cars, and he took some more parts off of a car that I was wanting that I do need for OVERHOOF. I don't need them right now, but they're here, they're available, and if I don't grab them, someone else is going to. Now, I did go to where the car had sat for the past 10 years, and luckily, by miracle, or, you know, whatever chance it was, the rear bumper was still laying on the property, so I was able to grab it. It's not in the best of shape, but I do have a bumper for it. That's gonna save me from having to buy a bumper for now. I will say the front and rear bumpers, they're not all that special. I don't intend to run them very long, but I'm excited to get the car complete again. Right now, I have the interior about 50%. I still need front seats and some carpet. I have door panels, so I just need to put those on whenever I get the door panels and the doors done. I'm not going to put those on yet because I want to remove the exterior door handles. Even though I'm not spending thousands of dollars on a paint job, I'm at least going to sand that stuff and put some color on it. And I do want to remove the handles and paint them and then put them back on. What is the story behind OVERHOOF? That's a good question. I haven't really touched base on it a whole lot. I can give a little bit more in-depth story and background and pretty much how it ended up the way it did and why it did. Probably 2014, 2015. I still had, I wasn't married then. I didn't have kids at home. I just worked. And I was pretty stable with, you know, finances, income, and belongings. So I had a couple Mustangs. I think I had a Lexus, and I had a couple motorcycles. And I acquired this car through a trade. I had a Fox body Mustang that was just a roller with a good title. And somebody had messaged me, because I had it up for sale for trade. And he says, hey, I've got this car that's a good car. He told me it was good. He said it needed some work, but it didn't. I didn't know about half the stuff that was wrong with it after I got it. But it's fine. It worked out. So we traded. But he actually delivered the car to me. And it was late at night, it was dark, so there was a lot of stuff I didn't see and didn't notice. The main thing was the one thing that pretty much put the nail in the coffin for that car until now. So, and when I got that car, it actually still had good tags on it. Yeah, believe it or not, that's why I was going to attempt to fix that car, because it was still registered. It had a good tag on it, the plates were good, and I had a good title for it. I was going to transfer it, but the engine was full of water, completely full of water. I was trying to do stuff. I realized that, I don't know, the head gaskets or the intake gaskets or both, but the block was completely full of water. So I thought, well, that's fine. I'll drain it, I'll flush it, I'll put new head gaskets on it, I'll put new intake gaskets on it, and I'll fix it. So I just started working on it, checking things out, and then come to find out the clutch was shredded wheat. If you've ever ate shredded wheat in the morning and you leave it in your milk too long and you pick it up and it just falls apart, that's the best way I could describe what the clutch looked like in this car. So I'm like, fine, all right, let's price the clutch. I'll put a clutch in it. I'll just do gaskets, engine gaskets, oil change, and I'll put a clutch in it and I'll drive it. So as I'm starting to work on this car, I look over, and the Mustangs have a fuse box in the engine bay. This is the main distribution panel for all of the power and the battery to the car that controls everything. And I don't know why I didn't notice. There was like a couple days went by. I had not noticed. I feel so stupid. I look over because I'm checking things. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Where's the fuse box? All the wires were there, but somebody had cut it. Looked like they took some really good cutters and just cut the wires and took the box. I was devastated. I was angry. I was ticked off. And I thought, you know what? I'm done with this car. That was the point where I said, you know what? I'm not fixing it no more. And yeah, I parked it in the field in like 2015, 2016, and it sat there. And I decided that car was never going to see the road again. So actually, Overhoof, this is going to be another story, but I'll at least tell you this. Overhoof originally was not going to be a 97 Mustang. No, it was something else. Well, good morning, everybody. This video has actually spanned quite a few days. A few days ago, I went and picked up some more parts for Overhoof. I had ran back to my dad's house a few times to get some things. Now it's a nice hot day in Texas. Overhoof continues. I did get some pretty cool stuff. I think I got a pretty good deal on it. I'm going to show you a couple things what I got for Overhoof that I'm going to start working on again here. As long as I keep doing it little by little, eventually it'll be done. Check this out. This is really cool. I saw this in a convertible Mustang that he had parted out, and I was like, ooh, what do you want for that? So he said I could have it for 30 bucks. I thought that was a pretty good deal. It was in a GT, but it's got the 150 mile per hour speedo with the little billet insert in here. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I can take this off there and clean it up, but it's actually not in that bad a shape. I bet all the gauges still work. I'm pretty excited about that. Even more excited about front brakes. I got the front brake calipers in there, but I got drilled and slotted rotors that came off of a 2000 or 2001 GT. They're all the same. Got still fairly new brake pads I'm going to put on it. I have all the hardware. I got to go and grab the hardware out of the car. So I left a few parts in here I need to grab. Put them inside a rubber glove, but hey, at least they're safe in here. I've got some stuff in here. Got one visor. It's not the right color, but I do have one. I got a good mirror. I've got more stuff to go over there. I got decent A-pillar covers to go in here. But I think the back's looking pretty good. This was a box from one of my headlights I put in here. I can get that out of the way. I had the window down, so some of the leaves blew in here, but that's fine. And I put this back in here to just kind of keep the sun out of here. I've started putting some of the dash in over there. I don't know if I'm going to use this. If it's still good, I'll clean it up and use it, but if not, we'll go away with it. But we're going to install our gauge cluster sometime, put a bezel in it. I got bezels to go over there. Next, we're going to find a carpet and start putting the rest of the interior in it. What is up, and welcome back, everybody. So it's taken a few days for me to get to this point, and I've collected quite a few parts, but I haven't really had a chance to put any parts on. So today I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to install the brakes. I still have to hook up the lines to my master cylinder, but I don't know if I can use these. These might be different threads than my strange manual brake master cylinder, and then make sure all my lines down to my brakes are good. I talked about before, I picked up some drilled and slotted rotors, and I have the good working calipers right here. It looks like they came with some spider eggs, but that's fine. We'll just do away with those. Let's say the ones that I had. This is some that I had here. This one, see, I'm not sure. See, this brake has just sat out. See, this is what I'm dealing with right here. This is the reason that I didn't do this, because, well, this is full of rust. And I'm not confident that the inside of this brake caliper is not rusted. And I didn't want to chance it, so I'm not going to. Now, these are the spindles and hubs that I robbed off of my parts car, and they were still good. Take these rotors. They're not perfect, but they're okay. Most of this will clean up. So we're going to slide this on here. Oh yeah, we definitely need to clean our slide pins, because I don't need these brakes locking up. So I'm going to clean these up. Yeah, it's probably a good thing I checked these. All right, do that stuff. Yeah, I need to clean those up. That's going to be bad. All right, so I have our slide pins cleaned up fairly well, but the inside of here look a little, they look a little rough. I'm going to do something to clean those out. I'm going to clean it out. I'm going to go backwards and get it all out of there. Wow, look at all that. Look at all that was in there. Dang. Yeah, that's bad. I'm kind of glad I did that. And we're just going to anti-seize them up. You're like the Silver Surfer from Fantastic Four. Oh, that is so nice. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. They are the right bolts. I was just doing it wrong. And just a little tip, whenever you're installing new calipers or used calipers, or you don't have any because they're gone, you're not sure what side to put it on. Always make sure that your bleeder screw is facing up. You can put them on either side. I could put these on either side, depending on how I've done this. They can go on the wrong side. This one could go on the passenger side, but the bleeder screw would be on the bottom. So make sure it's on the top and it's on the opposite side. That's one way to tell. So there it is. Now we have everything installed. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to, this is kind of rusted pretty bad. I can't get that bolt out of there. So I just went ahead and put the nut back in, the bolt in the back of it for now. That should hold it for now. I'm going to go online when I can and order some more brake hoses. What am I hitting on? Oh, I'm hitting on my brake shield here. Let me push that back a little bit. There we go. There we go. It works a lot better when it's not hitting on that shield. It was rubbing. I had to push it back a little bit. One thing I don't have, I'll have to get some replacement sway bar links to go in here into my adjustable lower control arms. Don't want those coming loose. Okay, so I'll get that off there. I'm going to slide in our used shim that goes here in the bottom. And now we have the passenger side all done. Alright, welcome back to a new day and a new subject or new topic on Overhoof. It's a topic that I've covered before, but it's something different. I'm going to work on getting the crankshaft installed in my LS. Now, before I got the camshaft installed, bearings, the new thruster plate, and I have the crank right there. I'm going to work on, I got all my previous main cap bolts. We're going to work in getting it prepped and set in here. I got the bearings, I got to dig the bearings out of there. But the crank is kind of in the way. So I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. I want to install it to get it out of my way. Plus, I'm at a point now where I need it installed. Once I get it installed, then I gotta swap flat top pistons onto my new Gen 4 rods over there and install that. And then the rotating assembly will be completely done. Ah, yes! Okay. Well, it took a little bit, but I did find them. I've got so much stuff in here. I've been stockpiling so many parts. I just had a hard time remembering where I put them. So today we've got some main bearings by Engine Tech. that we're going to install. We're going to get these ready, get them installed. If you're watching this because you've never done it before, I want to give you a couple tips. In an LS motor, the center journal is where the thrust bearing goes. Now it has several oil ports, I guess valleys or gaps. This one is okay because it has the gaps on front and back, but let's say it only had these notches on one side. Those notches would need to face the back of the engine, but because this has it on both sides, I'm okay. And you want to make sure you match up the bearings with the oil ports into the bottom of the block, because the top bearings just have a solid piece. Whatever you do, don't put these in the bottom of that, because yeah, you will unalive the engine real quick. All right, and we're going to just I'm just going to squirt some assembly lube in here, just like that. Right on the bearing. And in here, we have what is going to be the center of our entire engine. Now, this isn't what I set out to find. I was actually looking for anything. I just happened to come across this, and I traded for it. This came out of a LS1 Corvette. Very cool. Well, I've got a crankshaft sitting in my block finally. I acquired this block back right around the same time I brought the car home, so I've had the blocks probably since November, December. So over 8 months this block's been sitting here empty. And here we have the main caps, and they're all numbered, so I don't have to worry about getting them mixed up. Just be careful where you put them. If you notice the center one, which is where our thrust bearing goes, the edges are kind of beveled to allow for that wider thrust bearing. So if you notice on the other ones, they don't have that. See, this is our number 3, our center journal. It has beveled edges, the other ones do not. I want to spin this over real quick here. I've got it in there, but it's not torqued. But I think I've got it in there enough where I can spin this. Now what I've got here are V1 interference fit DOD plugs that you just pound in the ports to block off the oil ports, because this is where the solenoids went that controlled the DOD. And how you do that is you just put them in place like so, and they say they are interference fit. So you just put them in place and give it a couple whacks, and that's it. See, we have the DOD plugs installed. No more DOD on this block. And then to top it off, we're going to be installing what's called a DOD delete valley tray, because the OEM valley tray had DOD solenoids in here, so we have to get a delete tray that just lays in here like so. You know, I see something that might be a problem now that I've got that installed on there. I've got the heads down there. I need to take the heads and sit on this, because I don't know if my LS2 intake is going to clear that. I'd like to find out. So let's check. And the GoPro battery is almost dead again. And I'm surprised it does clear. Right here. You got a little bit of space right there, which is good. I was a little optimistic. I wasn't sure if it was going to clear or not. But I just have this thing setting together. I think I'll give you guys a sneak peek of it. So if you want, here it is. We're a little closer. Wow, that actually looks really sweet. It actually looks pretty good. I'm impressed. A little closer, a little more progress. I've got more work to do, but now I can finally see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's go. Well, it has taken me quite a bit of time to get to this point. I put in a lot of work. It's taken a week or so to get all this footage now, to compile it so you guys can see it. It's probably going to take me a few days to get that done. So in the meantime, I'm going to keep working. And if you would, I'd appreciate it, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I've got a lot more to come, and the car's getting close. If you haven't already, let's break something.